Happy Halloween, everybody. And we've got a great edition of the matchup mother effing preview today. We're going to start off with me, the Fighting Swansons versus No Diddy. Paul, you bald bastard. You talk too much shit at the draft and you're getting curb stomped. That's what's happening right now. And it's going to continue this week. You're in last place, and I'm about to put a pillow over your fantasy team and just suffocate them to death. It's going to be a slow, painful death for your fantasy team. And it's going to start tonight with Breece freaking Lightning. Breece Hall, tough matchup against the Texans. I don't give a crap. Bold prediction. Breece Hall, top 5 running back on the week in a brutal matchup. Does not matter. He obliterated the Steelers 2 weeks ago. He's going to obliterate the Texans tonight. My team's going to just smash this week. I'm probably 130, 140 points. Paul will be lucky to hit 70. He's got good matchups, but he's got bad players is the problem. So who's going to do well on Paul's team? I think honestly, I kind of like D-Hop against the Bucks, but Paul's not going to play him. So I'm going to say Devonta Smith has a big game against the Jags. It won't mean anything to Paul because I have Jalen Hurts. So kind of upside limiting in a matchup where Paul really needs to chase the points. But I mean, you can't bench him. You got to start him. But in any event, yeah, I'm just going to kill Paul. It's not even going to be close. Now we got Jason versus Kevin. You know, Kevin's a big-time underdog here, but he might have some stuff in the hopper for a trade. We'll see what happens. You know, there's some discussions going on behind closed doors that I've been made privy to. Now, you look at Kev here, the Commanders against the Giants. The Giants are a team you can run all over. Jaden Daniels runs really well. Brian Robinson Jr. in his lineup. I expect those guys to do very well. My bold prediction, though, for Kevin's team, his highest scoring wide receiver this week will be Courtland Sutton against the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens don't even try to defend outside receivers. Sutton's going to eat day and night in this game. He's just going to be fat on feasting on Ravens. So I like that. I look at Taysom Hill in the lineup. I get it. They're playing the Panthers, but there is no way in hell I'm benching Mark Andrews. He scored the touchdowns 3 weeks in a row. I mean, if there's one weakness of the Denver D, it's the tight end position. I think Mark Andrews does well again. But, you know, you already heard my bold prediction, Courtland Sutton. I look over at Jason's team, and Jason's got quite the squad. I'm going to go bold here on Jason's team, and I'm going to take a trip to negative town. Jalen Johnson clamps up Marvin Harrison Jr. Marvin Harrison Jr., 25 yards or so, scoreless. Jalen Johnson just takes his lunch money all day long. That's how that one's going to go. But it's not going to matter because Jason's going to easily beat Kevin anyway. Now, of course, that's pending. Maybe he does something trade-wise. So now we got Jared versus Tony Jr. in what should be a tight matchup, should be highly contested. Jared starting Tua, Tyreek, and Waddle against a Bills team that has absolutely murdered the Dolphins in recent years. It's an interesting strategy. We'll see if it pays off for him. You're gutsier than I am. That's all I'll say. Tyreek Hill, listen, Jared, I'll do you a solid. I'm going to offer you Amari Cooper for him because at that point, I'm just trying to help you out and get you somebody playable. Tyreek sucks. He's clearly lost it. He's got nothing left. But let's go bold prediction here. I'm going to go with some low-hanging fruit here. Alvin Kamara is the RB1 on the week against the Carolina Panthers. Every running back crushes the Panthers, and quite frankly, the Saints have nothing else. So Kamara is just going to smash the Panthers. I expect the Saints to get out in front early and just ride Kamara to touchdown after touchdown. This could be a 3 or 4 touchdown game for AK-41. Now, on Tony's side of things, I tried to do one side positive, one side negative, but I'm going to go positive with Tony as well. I think Bijan Robinson is the RB2 overall this week because he's facing the Dallas Cowboys, who just absolutely suck. They've given up. They've quit. But that's going to be good news for CeeDee Lamb, too, who's also going to have a big game. So who's going to get the dub? I'm going to give the dub to Jared barely. Very tight matchup. Toughest one to pick of the week. Now, we got Finding Debo versus Worthy of Our Trust, and Trey hasn't even set his lineup yet. I expect he'll probably play ETN and Slayton, or at least ETN, and move Pop Douglas into his lineup. Joe's the bold prediction on Joe's team is easy. In fact, I'm going to give you one positive and one negative. Positive, Josh Downs is a top 10 wide receiver against Minnesota Sunday night. He's going to smash Minnesota. Everybody knows it. Just check Twitter. The negative, though, and this is going to sting a little, Joe, but J.K. Dobbins is going to have less than 8 fantasy points. And that's because he's at Cleveland, and also J.K. Dobbins kind of sucks. So don't love J.K. Dobbins this week. It's a really tough matchup. I do, however, love the New Orleans defense. Bryce Young's still starting. They don't have Deontay Johnson. We don't know if Adam Thielen's going to be there. Should be a smash defensive play. On Trey's side of things, love me some Drake London, but I'm going to go bold prediction here, and I'm going to take a trip to negative town, and I'm going to say the Baltimore defense does very bad against the Denver offense. The Denver offense is clicking lately, and the Ravens defense is not. I expect Denver to put up more of a fight than you're anticipating. People don't realize Denver's a winning football team right now. They're winning games, man. They can play. So who's going to get the dub? Joe wins this week in a landslide, just absolutely murders Trey. It's going to be a vicious, ugly beating. Worthy of the horror of Halloween. Now, we have the Patriarch versus Gorlock the Destroyer in the matchup of the season to this point. Gonna be tough to put on to top the show Senior and I put on last week when we combined for about 230 fantasy points between the two of our teams. But this one could do it. You look at, honestly, Steve has one of the ugliest 6-2 teams I've ever seen in this league, and I think he's going to start losing some games, probably starting this week. Lamar, I expect, is fine, but I would not expect a blow-up game for Lamar against Denver. Again, Denver is a winning football team. They have a damn tough defense. But Lamar against a damn tough defense is probably still 18 to 25 points. Just what it is. He's a monster. But let's go really bold here on Senior. And I'm going to say that Tucker Kraft is the tight end one on the week. I think it's going to be a shootout with Detroit, and I think Tucker Kraft gets into the end zone twice. I don't think a huge yardage game is on tap, but 2 touchdowns likely makes him the tight end one on the week. Now, on Steve's team, David Njoku not practicing. He has a new ankle injury that he apparently picked up yesterday in practice. He previously had a high ankle sprain, so could he have re-aggravated that? Yeah, probably. So Steve's going to have to roll out the husk of TJ Hawkinson or go pick up a third tight end. TJ Hawkinson's 1,000% not rosterable. That is, he's not going to be the same guy this year. It just is what it is. Steve's the only one that wanted him. If he dropped him into free agency, nobody would pick him up. And Steve's probably going to have to roll with him. We'll see what happens. Let's go bold prediction here. and TJ Hawkinson less than 20 yards this week, because that's going to be his tight end. Obviously, Njoku re-injured his same ankle. He's not going to play. Probably going to hit the IR again. But that is good news for Cedric the Entertainer Tillman. So I'll do a double bowl prediction. Cedric Tillman over 100 yards and a touchdown in this game, en route to Steve getting his monkey ass whipped by Senior anyway. It's not going to matter. Steve's going to lose because he doesn't beat Senior. He just doesn't. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this, but they probably had 1 million bets against each other, whether it's playing pool. I've sat there and watched Steve lose like 7-8 times in a row to Senior at pool, and he just keeps throwing down $20 to gift to him. I don't know why. Like, I lose to him 2 or 3 times in a row. I said, all right, that's it. I've donated enough. That's it. Steve just keeps coming back and getting his ass kicked over and over again. So that's what you're going to see this week is Senior is going to shove Steve down the stairs, kick dirt in his face, and then he's going to hold him down while he spits in his mouth. Just straight up bullying, the biggest ass whipping of the week. Senior destroys Steve. And there you go. There's your matchup preview. And I will see you guys for the recap on Tuesday. Happy Halloween, guys.